this segues right into what I'm gonna say next. A serving of fruits and vegetables is actually way smaller than you think. It really, really is. So take a look up on the slide. A serving of broccoli, for example, is about the size of a baseball. That is really, really not that big. And then imagine that cooked. How small is that gonna be really? A serving of nuts is about the size of a golf ball. A serving of peas and beans is about the size of a light bulb. So serving sizes are smaller than you think. A serving of, say, strawberries is half a cup. You know, here's how I get in my 10 servings of fruits and vegetables every day, and probably even more. We start off with a smoothie in the morning, and usually you can get like 3 servings of fruit in there with a smoothie. In the mid-morning, and I try, and it doesn't always happen because sometimes I'm busy with patients, or sometimes I'm ripping and running and doing all sorts of stuff, but usually try to get like a serving or 2 of fruit in the mid-morning to keep my blood sugar roundabout level. For lunch, I have the big salad. I do. And so that might be about 3 or 4 servings of vegetables right there. In the mid-afternoon, I pack my food. I need to make that very clear. I pack my food. So in the mid-afternoon, I'll be charting, and I have my little carrot sticks, or my little tiny tomatoes, or my little pieces of, what are they called? Green peppers, yellow peppers, red peppers, all of these other things are so yummy. And I'll have those with me. We're at mid-afternoon, and I've already gotten up to 10 servings of vegetables, and I haven't even counted in what I'm gonna have with my dinner. Say another serving or 2 of vegetables with my dinner. So it's not impossible, it's not even hard. And what you'll find, and when we see patients, we never tell them, oh, you've gotta stop eating this, and you've gotta start eating this. We're always introducing new healthy things into the diet, and you'll find you'll start liking them, and that pushes out all the bad stuff that has no place.
Now, what should be the ratio between fruits and veggies? If I can eat fruit all day, but what should be the ratio?
Generally, you can generally have as many of fruits and vegetables as you want. However, some fruits are very high in sugar, and so at times when your activity levels are not at peak, those are the times that I would recommend that you choose the vegetables. So you'll notice for my little eating plan, I am using my fruit more in the morning hours when I'm busiest. As I get closer to the afternoon hours and the evening hours, I'm moving more into eating more vegetables. Does that make sense for you? Yeah? Okay. Sorry? I have more fruit in the morning. I'm not saying I never have fruit in the evening, because I do, but I tend to concentrate my fruit intake in the morning, and then from afternoon to evening, I focus more on vegetables. And I do put vegetables in my smoothie too, so that's like a nice way to incorporate those sorts of things. And yes, green smoothies do taste good. They do. They look a little funny, but you get used to the color. So I want us to talk a little bit, and maybe Britt Marie can help me with the whiteboard and making notes of some of the ideas that you're gonna come up with. But I wanna give you some easy solutions for incorporating plants more into your diet. I know if your kids are anything like my little boy, sometimes getting them to eat their fruits and vegetables might not be the easiest thing. And so I want to give you a couple of suggestions, and I also would like to get a couple of suggestions from you about what you're doing to incorporate more fruits and vegetables. So I like to do a lot of roasting and grilling of fruits and vegetables. That enhances the flavor. One of the things that we learn in school about nutrition for kids is that they like things that are sweet. They like things that have the flavor enhanced. And when I had my baby and we were doing baby food and that sort of thing, I noticed that the things he liked the most were the sweet potato, the little, cream sweet potato, and funnily enough, the green peas, because they're sweet. And it's nature that makes it that way. Back on the savannah, okay, maybe this never happened, but back on the savannah, when little tiny kids were creeping around, if they tasted something out there that was bitter, they spit it out immediately because that was something that was not going to be good for them. And they focused on eating the sweet things because that was food. Well, guess what? It's built into us. It's hardwired into us. And so our babies, they just like things that taste good. You can't fight it. It's nature. So when you roast the vegetables or the fruits, it enhances the flavor. It actually makes the fruits and the vegetables taste sweeter. So try that. I would make one suggestion though, because my little boy, if it has any little black stuff on it, like he'll tell me, "No, mommy, that's dirty." So, you know, if your kids are finicky and fussy like that, then watch out for that and don't leave it under the broiler too long. But roasting stuff really, really helps. Smoothies. My nephew, he loves smoothies. He'll even drink the green smoothies. I kid you not, and he is 2 years old. He loves the smoothies.
So can you just talk about what to put in the green smoothie? Because I have a Vitamix at home, and I've had it for years, and I make all the fruit smoothies, but once they say throw some kale and some spinach, I'm like,
Okay, so
how do you make it taste good?
So one thing that makes smoothies really great and taste good are apples. Apples are great because they're very sweet. Pears also have the same sort of effect. You notice how apple juice tastes really, really sweet, even if it's 100% apple juice or pear juice? And those things are great. So adding an apple when you're putting in veggies is always good. And I would suggest that you start out probably with the milder veggies. So maybe spinach, because spinach can be milder. And start with just a few leaves, and then you can keep adding more. But don't discount it. I promise you, it's a great way to introduce vegetables to your kids. Question over here?
I know in a perfect world I should be, doing it myself and getting the blender or the juicer going, but I'm sure you're going to tell me it's not as great a benefit, but is there still a benefit from, a prepared, something that you purchase?
Something that you purchase is perfectly fine.
That counts as fruit?
Just make sure that you read the label. We're going to talk about looking at labels in a little bit, but watch the top 3 ingredients of the labels of anything that you buy. And if in the top 3 ingredients you see sugar, you're going to want to put that one right back, because that means that a significant portion of that food item is just pure, unadulterated sugar. That's the only thing I would say. But there are lots of prepared things out there that are great. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little bit about my life. I get up in the morning, I get my munchkin ready, we go drop off at grandma, I go into the office and I see patients. I see patients all day. And then I leave work and I sometimes pick up munchkin, sometimes daddy picks up munchkin, and I come home and I be mommy and I save bedtime, and then at the end of the day I am done. So you have to, like I said, you have to find that balance, and sometimes you will have to use prepared foods, but you have to make sure that the ones that you're choosing are the right ones. Make sense? All right, let's talk about things like dips. You can incorporate your beans and peas and nuts that way, and that's a nice little way to get them involved, especially when they're small and they like finger foods, to get them involved with the vegetables. Kids love when you get them involved in actually making the food with you. It's gonna take a whole lot longer, but they love it and they're more inclined to eat it, and they like when you use the cookie cutter and make all the shapes and do all that wonderful stuff that your mom used to do that you think you don't have the time to do nowadays. Another thing that kids like to do is they like to plant gardens. They like to see things grow. It excites them, and so that's one of the reasons why we brought the little seed packets. I'm not sending anybody to go dig in their backyards. Please, you've seen me. I don't do that. But go to Home Depot, get a container, like a big pot, get some potting soil, get some gloves, and plant some seeds with your kids. Put them on the windowsill. in your kitchen. Watch them grow over the winter, and they will love that. And when they see that that's where the food is coming from, that's what vegetables are, not just off the shelf in the supermarket, I guarantee they'll be more likely to be interested in eating. And then you eat more vegetables too, because what they see you eating is what they're gonna wanna eat too. Anybody else have any suggestions about how we can make it healthier for the babies? Yes, miss.
Maybe not babies, but you know, my son would rather play video games than eat. So in order to get him engaged, like from a scientific perspective, like he won't eat kale, but he loves like getting his hands in food. So we make kale chips.
Yes.
So I mean, in the transformation from the kale to the chips, and then you just like they're so good.
They are.
A lot of fun, and then he likes tacos. So I mix the black beans in with the turkey meat.
Yes. Yep. Incorporating stuff in foods is a great idea. Let me just tell you something though. I had a patient come complain to me just this week. She's like, Dr. Shepherd, you told me to incorporate vegetables in my food, and I blended up broccoli and I put it in my meat, and everybody in my house had gas. So don't do that. There's some fruits and vegetables that you don't want to mix with other things, and some things like broccoli might not be the best choices for that. Did somebody have a hand up?
Yeah, my children love watching Food Network on Saturday.
Yes.
And so what we do is we sit and watch the shows, and the girls who are teenagers, they cook. So
Yes.
the TV's there, and so I said, well, go make that carrot casserole. They'll eat whatever, no matter how bad it is. They'll eat whatever they cook.
Whatever they
And
cook.
it forces us to eat it too. So
Yes.
that's another way of getting them involved.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that one. Anybody else? Yes, miss.
I have a 12-year-old son who eats pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So what we started to do instead of always buying pizza out, is we get the whole wheat crust and toaster and makes a really cool one. And then he's so trained that he puts the sauce on, and he believes that spinach is basil. So if you want to make pizza, you have to put at least 2 fistfuls of basil on your pizza. So you put the sauce on the basil, then you put the cheese on. Because he's so conditioned now that he's not going to eat the pizza unless I see the basil on it.
I love it.
And buy like a big thing of spinach. And because he really doesn't see it on his pizza because the cheese is all covering the spinach, he'll sit down and eat the entire thing. So he's getting like 2 or 3 fistfuls of spinach on his pizza. And I don't get not one complaint from the child.
I love that one. I absolutely love that one. Another suggestion that I would make is to leave fruits and veggies in very convenient places for kids where they can reach them. I have a little breakfast bar in my house, and my kid is like running back and forth, and his favorite thing now is carrots, because I always just leave little carrot sticks in his little bowl on the breakfast bar, and whenever he feels like a snack, he just goes and he just gets it, and it's just right there.